Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on January 31st, 2013. And there were some definite good points and some definite bad points to this addition to TNA Impact. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the bad points right off the bat. And there are very few of them. The one bad point is, the whole Joseph Park thing to me, I think it's kind of run its course now. And I've said it for the last couple weeks, and I'm going to say it again. It's really run its course. It's extremely boring me at this point in time. And that's pretty much all it is. I mean, he does a really good job playing the character. It's getting to the point that it's becoming boring. I would like to see him either try to further the character in some way, shape, or form, with him just always being aggressive in some way, shape, or form, or maybe even go back to the Abyss character in general at this point in time. The other area that I felt was a little bit lacking to the show, and of course this was the Open Fight Night show. The fact that they used James Storm in the Velvet Sky versus Tara and Jesse area, it just felt really random and not really necessary at this point in time. You would have figured they would have gone in maybe a different route. Somebody who had been fighting against Jesse at some point in time. They could have even used Robbie T, even though he's considered a heel at this point. They could have at least done it because they've had some kind of interaction in the past. But they kind of went the random route in having James Storm here, maybe just for the cheap, not necessarily cheap pop, or just for the pop at that point in time. And it really didn't seem like it really fit in this case where they were at. But that was really the only down points of TNA Impact this week. It was a relatively good show for the most part. The matches, of course, were all extremely good, being Open Fight Night and whatnot, and just in general. But the areas that I truly did like the most out of the show, the fact of Austin Aries and Bobby Roode going off and saying, we're going to go for all the titles at this point in time. We're going to start with the tag team titles, saying, oh, these will be the easiest championships to get and everything. And then, of course, Chavo and Austin Aries having their match, which was an extremely good match between them. The other area I liked, or at least one other area I liked, was the Bully Ray, Sting, Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan promo. This was a good setup going into the next week with the whole tables match with Sting and Bully Ray versus the Aces and Eights members. I think they came off extremely well. They've been doing great with their promos as of late, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that segment of the show. The last area that I did thoroughly enjoy was the Kurt Angle Mr. Anderson match in general. The steel cage match, it was just a lot of fun to watch. Also with the ending, Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe showing that they're Aces and Eights members now. It was nice that they finally threw some kind of swerve in there, someone turning their back on someone else, maybe even like Kurt Angle or Sting or somebody like that, to join the Aces and Eights. You really hadn't seen that. The only thing you had always seen was someone being unmasked, which wasn't really somebody turning. It was like they were always a Aces and Eights member, but they're now now they're revealed at that point in time. So it was nice to see somebody pull a swerve and pull a heel turn going into the Aces and Eights. So overall for that, those were the areas I definitely did like. Overall, I felt the show was pretty well done, outside of the few down points in there. And I'm gonna end this one with a one little extra, what I consider a major down point, which is for the next month you won't see Jeff Hardy on TV because they will be, or I think that you'll see Jeff Hardy on TV in some way, shape, or form, but you won't see him in the arenas because of his prior convictions here in the United States. He's not allowed to travel out to the UK for any tours or anything like that. So they wrote him off with that injury angle last week with the Aces and Eights members knocking out his knee with a hammer, and now he probably won't be. And now he won't be in the arenas doing any matches or anything like that for the next month. And the biggest down point to that is that even though they knew that this was going to be the case and they couldn't get it overturned, they kept advertising that Jeff Hardy would be there, and it doesn't seem right to keep advertising him when you know he can't go out there in some way, shape, or form. I do think you'll still see him on the televised impacts, but I think they'll come up with some kind of video promos or just some kind of on-camera type deal to keep Jeff Hardy there, but you won't see him in matches, you won't see him in the arena. And honestly, I just think it's a very bad point for Impact Wrestling, just because, you know, they have him being the world champion. He needs to be on television. He needs to be in matches. He needs to be on the show for people to really want to tune in. But he's not going to be there for the next month. But overall, this Impact, I felt, came off extremely good. Outside of those two minor down points in the show. So yeah, that's my review for TNA Impact Wrestling this week. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.